Let's begin. What up guys, welcome back to our channel Waddup Canada. So this is Sid and today Sherry is behind the lens and shooting for me. So thank you so much first of all for giving me all that love on my 2 years journey in Canada. So today's video is gonna be about what was my PR timeline, what were my mistakes and how I planned for my immigration to Canada. If you guys are looking at coming to Canada through express entry, this video will be really helpful for you because I did the process on my own without an agent and saved those 2 lakh rupees which were like my own savings, and I better used it in Canada. So watch the video till the end as it's gonna be really helpful. I'm gonna talk about the do's, the don'ts and how you can better plan for your PR journey. So let's start. So whenever you have thought that you want to immigrate to Canada, the first and foremost step is to check your eligibility and CRS score. For that, just go to the CIC website CRS calculator and put in all the details. It will ask you details like your age, your qualification, your marital status and other things like your IELTS score. So if you haven't given your IELTS, just enter the score as 8777, wherein 8 stands for your listening and 7 for reading, writing and speaking. So once you enter this, you will get a CRS score. Match that CRS score with the current trend that is going on in the market. And once you see what's the difference in the scores, if it matches to the current trend, then you are in a very good position. If not, then you need to see that you need to work on your IELTS because other factors like your age, your qualification and your work experience won't really change. The only thing that you can work at is your IELTS score. We got the golden score 8777 within 20 days. And if you want to check that out, I'll provide the link in the description. So go check that out. So for my IELTS timeline, I booked my IELTS for November the 11th and my scores came on November 24th. And in my first go, I got my golden score, which was 8777. After you receive your IELTS score, simultaneously start preparing for your educational credential assessment as well as getting reference letters from your previous employers according to the CIC format. So I got my ECA done through WES. And I prepared all my transcripts from my graduation, from my post-graduation, and I had to send it to WES for evaluation. So for that, my timeline was I created my account on January the 10th. My documents got received to WES on January 26th. And finally, on February 12th, 2018, my documents were evaluated. Meanwhile, I also got the reference letter from my previous employers as these steps would take up maximum amount of your time. And especially during COVID, these steps are taking all the more delays because even the universities and even your employers are tied up with so many things. So it is better that you plan simultaneously for all these documents like your reference letters, your transcripts, and preparing for your IELTS simultaneously. Start contacting your previous employers and ask for your reference letters from them because all this while when you are waiting for your ECA evaluation, your employer would be able to help you out with those reference letters so that once you are creating your express entry profile, you are not wasting any other time in waiting to get those reference letters, waiting to get those educational credential assessments and whatnot. It is the best practice to have these things done simultaneously. So after you are done with your IELTS, your ECA and even got your reference letters, now is the time to create your express entry profile. So make sure that you enter everything very correctly, double check it and then only submit it into the express entry pool. Once you enter your profile in the express entry pool, you will be in the pool with other candidates too. So the candidate with the highest points gets the invitation to apply, and thereby if you are above the CRS cutoff, you will get the invitation to apply. So I got my ITA on March the 24th, 2018. So after getting my ITA, this was the time wherein I had to submit the proof of documentation, what I have submitted in my express entry profile. So I had all the documents with me, but the only thing that was lacking was one reference letter from my previous employer. And since the HR had changed for that particular employer, it was a long wait for me to get the reference letter from the new HR. So it took me more than a month to get that reference letter. That's why I'm reiterating it again and again. get your reference letter from your previous employers if you want to save on time. So as I told you that I was awaiting a letter from one of my employers, and meanwhile I got all my medicals and my PCC, that is the police clearance certificate, done. So the timeline for those was 7th of April for my medicals and 27th of April for my PCC. Also, I had to get the proof of funds, which shows that I have adequate funds to come to Canada and survive at least for 6 months. So I had those proof of funds also done from my bank. If you don't have sufficient funds in your bank, what you can do is you can create a gift deed and have it notarized, create an affidavit for the same, so that you are legally telling that you have those funds in your bank account from your father, mother, or any other relative, and then you can go ahead with using those funds, because at the end of the day, the officers at CIC, they need to see that you have adequate funds to survive in Canada. So after I got my reference letter from my previous employer, this was the time wherein I needed to upload all the documentation. If you feel that there is any discrepancy in any of the document which might be like misunderstood by the officer, you can write a letter of explanation and enclose it in the additional document section. After all this is done, just go through the documentation that those have been enclosed properly and go ahead with submission of your profile. You would be required to submit an application fees, which was $550 when I submitted my profile, but this has increased to 825 Canadian dollars now. And you also have to submit a RPRF fees, which is the right for permanent resident fee. So I personally didn't submit that fee at that point of time. You can submit it at a later stage, but eventually if you want to come to Canada as a PR, you have to submit that fees. So I basically waited for the request to come to me and then submitted, so there was another delay in my profile. Finally, I submitted my profile and my AOR was May 16, 2018. So I submitted my profile, and now I was anxiously awaiting every day when I will get an update for my profile. I guess within 10-15 days I got the update that my medicals have been approved, and after that I didn't receive any update till September 18th 2018. So it was a long wait, like up to 4 months I had to wait to get another update. I was very anxious at that point of time, and I thought that probably I'll order GCMS notes. These notes are basically requested if you don't see any movement in your profile, and you can request for those notes. So I thought to myself that whether I should go ahead and order those notes, but then I thought that probably I'll give it 1 more month, and if anything doesn't work, I'll probably be going ahead with ordering the GCMS notes. But luckily on 18th of September 2018, I got an ADR, which is an additional document request, and that was with regards to the RPRF fee, which I hadn't paid. So the RPRF fee at that point of time was $490, and today it has increased to $500. I paid the RPRF fee, which was $490 on September 21st, and submitted it back. So after that, on October 2nd, 2018, I finally got the PPR request, which was the passport request. And I was so happy finally that I got the news which I was waiting for, and I rushed to the passport office the very next day with the requisite documentation, and I submitted my passport. After 10 days, I got my passport back with the stamped visa that I would finally be going to Canada. So finally, I got my passport stamped with the COPR, and I was allowed to make an entry to Canada within the next 6 months. So I had the validity till April 30th, 2019. I had left my job into December 2018, and there was no point wasting that time and not have a job. So I thought to myself, why wait till April 2019 and then come to Canada? Although the weather would have been much better, but I landed in peak winters in January 2019 and started to look for my job. So this was a very interesting journey for me, but at the same time, when you are waiting all the while for your updates on your PR status or in your Express Entry profile, just make use of that time. for better things like how to move to Canada, what would be the type of expenses that you'd be having, a better place for accommodation, and what particular job field would you be entering into, what are sort of roles, responsibilities, salaries, any recruitment or employment agencies that are there. So try to invest that time in positive things rather than getting disheartened that my PR is getting delayed, my profile is not getting updated and whatnot. So this would be really helpful, and it would better plan your immigration to Canada rather than staying at home and staying depressed. I know the times are very tough, especially during COVID. The processing time have been further delayed. So just keep your fingers crossed and everything will fall into place. So the total time that it took for me from my AR to getting my PPR was 4.5 months. So it totally varies from profile to profile because everyone has a different background, and for me it took 4.5 months, but for Sherry it took 7 months. So every profile is different and you cannot like generalize on things that how my profile is getting better visibility or my officer was more lenient or strict. So it totally varies on a lot of factors. So just be patient, just be calm, and eventually you guys would definitely land to Canada. So if you like the video, make sure you like, comment and subscribe to our channel. And if you have a specific request with regards to ECA, IELTS, reference letters, and how to send your transcripts, we would be more than happy to prepare a video. Just shoot in your request in the comment section and we would be more than happy to help you guys out. So until next time, take care of yourself, your family, and stay connected.